Welcome to the fifth gear shootout. This week, the latest Lotus Elise takes on Vauxhall's VX220 Turbo, which, built of course by Lotus, has a 200 horsepower turbo engine that gives this £26,000 sports car supercar-like pace. Lotus's new 111R comes with a 189 bhp engine and 6-speed gearbox, both courtesy of Toyota, plus a few extra little tweaks. At £28,000, plus new options such as air conditioning and lecky windows, it's at least a couple of grand dearer than the VX220. But what we want to know is it faster? The Vauxhall VX220 Turbo, which until today I had never driven. But it's easy to see why everyone's been raving about it. Because that 2-litre turbocharged power plant gives this chassis exactly what it's always wanted, and for an affordable price. And it's an engine that you'd hardly know was turbocharged. There's no hint of a turbo. The power delivery seems to be almost seamless. Of course, this Lotus chassis is already well renowned as one of the best, if not the best, on the roads today. But then even the best chassis has its limitations. And when you really push this Vauxhall, there is a little bit too much understeer turning in, which will inevitably snap into oversteer on the way out. Right, enough of the showboating. Let's get a quick, neat lap time. It hits the first checkpoint in 23.11 seconds. The hairpin in 35.35. And goes on to set a target lap of 51.96 seconds. So, Lotus have finally given the Lotus the power to fight back. And although on paper it's still 10 horsepower down on the Vauxhall's engine, the Toyota power plant and 6-speed gearbox helped to reduce the weight by some 70 kilos. So the Lotus has actually got a better power-to-weight ratio. This is going to be close. Mind you, you only get that power over 6,200 RPM, because this Toyota engine has one of those wonderful variable valve timing. It actually produces a power delivery that's more like the old turbo surge was than a turbo is nowadays. Nothing below 6.2 then. The noise chimes in and you get extra power by the bucket load. Now straight away I'm noticing that this Lotus also turns into the corners a lot better and doesn't swap to oversteer so much in the middle of them. The Lotus engineers will be tweaking this chassis, making the rear subframe stiffer, playing with the springs and dampers. I love this car. But is it quicker than the Vauxhall? Shock of shocks, the extra torque of the VX220 has dragged it to the top of the hill 7/100ths faster than the Lotus. But by the hairpin, that deficit has been reduced to just 3/100ths, with the most technical sector yet to come. Just a flick of opposite lock and the Lotus has reversed the deficit as it hits the finish line to win the day by the slenderest of margins. Who's a clever boy then?